Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley and today we're going to be officially launching the new project pan that I'm starting for 2025, my Pan It or Pass It project pan. Now I had mentioned my ideas around creating this project at the end of 2024 and I've kind of played around with it in the time since then. I did kind of a trial run in January and I'm feeling very excited about this project. Now I created this because, let's be honest, I have way too many eyeshadow palettes in my collection and I don't use all of them. I'm also really terrible at decluttering. I go through my eyeshadow palettes and I look at them and objectively, they're all beautiful and I've spent money on all of them. But the reality is they don't serve me anymore a lot of the time, but I still have trouble letting go of them. So rather than a traditional chopping block, I decided to go ahead and just sort of merge it with some of the panning projects that are out there. I took some of my main inspiration from Sophie Alexander's Level Up project pan. I'll make sure to link her in the description box below because she's absolutely lovely and wonderful. And I came up with this sort of hybrid project. So what I'll be doing is I will be randomly generating an eyeshadow palette and deciding on the spot, am I going to pan this or am I going to pass it? Now, obviously, I have some leeway in there if I draw something that is just not seasonally appropriate and I know I'm not going to get the right kind of use out of it and things like that, then I can always go back to the randomization and things like that. Like, I'm not going to be crazy strict about it, but we're going to figure out an eyeshadow palette. We're going to randomize how many uses I need to use each eyeshadow pan, and then we're going to decide again at the end of the month, okay, now that you've had a month to use this, do you still want to keep it or do you want to go ahead and declutter it? And I feel like that's going to give me the best of both worlds. I'm going to get a really good idea of not just my first blush, is this a beautiful eyeshadow palette? Of course it is. I wouldn't have purchased it otherwise. But then once you get down to the nitty gritty, using it every single day, whether or not this is going to be one that fits in my life long term. So I'm very excited about it. And let's just go ahead and get into it. We'll draw an eyeshadow palette and go from there. We are going to be doing a look together, which is why I'm half barefaced. And lots of rambling. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to randomly generate 2 eyeshadow palettes. And I'm doing it this way because if I decide that I don't want to use the first one, then I've already got a second one waiting in the wings there. And it's not just a lot of randomization, theoretically. So I have 160 eyeshadow palettes on my Excel spreadsheet that we're going to be working with at least in the first leg of this. So let's go ahead and focus. The first one is going to be 53, and then the second one is going to be 17. So let me go ahead and pull both of those eyeshadow palettes, and we will go from there. Palettes are pulled, and initially I thought this was going to be easy. So number 53 is my BH Cosmetics Royal Affair palette. This came out ages ago at this point, and it is an interesting color story. Most of it is more on the kind of cooler toned grungy side, which is what really attracted me to it in the first place. I have gotten so little usage out of this palette, honestly, because I never really know what to do with it. And that's just the honest truth of it. I'm just never really sure what to do with it. So I usually shy away from this. The other palette was number 17, and that was this right here. I do know that I love this palette. This is Glaminatrix Barely Basic palette. I picked this up last year. I absolutely adore Glaminatrix, and it is just such a good palette. I cannot recommend this palette more highly. And I thought initially that this was going to be the one that I was going to pull into this project. But I feel like I would be doing a disservice to the heart of this project. So I am going to go with Royal Affair. I need to know if I need to be keeping this palette because honestly, I'm feeling like at the end of this month, I will probably decide that I don't want to because I never know what to do with it. So I'm going to go ahead and randomly generate anywhere between 1 and 10 uses per pan that I will need to do throughout the month. Eight. So we are not getting off easily here. But that's okay, because again, that is the point of this project. So let me go ahead and zoom you in. We'll do a look together. I'll let you know how I'm feeling and if we are in fact going to be hitting it out to start with. So yeah. All right, my friends, so this is the final look. I did add some mascara and some eyeliner. I attempted a wing today, which is always a journey within itself. And as you can see, I did bump up the blush just a little bit and added some lip color. And all in all, I think this look came together really, really nicely. And I'm happy with what we have here. So I am really glad that I did decide to bring in this palette. However, I will admit that this look was not without its challenges. I'm happy to say that the mattes are still performing really, really well, even though this is an older palette. My concern is going to be with the shimmers. I like how this came out, but I'm usually looking for more impact within my shimmers. I'm looking for more sparkle. I'm looking for, honestly, just more. So we'll see how it goes. I do think that there are going to be some challenging colors in here, namely this chartreuse. It just doesn't go with anything else here. As well as kind of this shade right here. It looks to be a bit of like an iridescent kind of blue. Let me see if I can swatch. Yeah, oh yeah, both of these shades, just so that you can kind of see. They just don't go with the rest of the palette. So I'm not exactly sure kind of how this is going to go, but I am really glad that I pulled this in because I think it's going to really give the heart of what this project is meant to do. It's meant to utilize my eyeshadow palettes more, but also help me decide what I need to do with them. So I hope that you have enjoyed this intro. If you'd like to participate, please absolutely join on in. Let me know if you're working on it as well so that I can follow your progress. Because again, the panning community is just that. It's a community. We're here to really cheer each other on, and I love that so much about it. So please let me know if you'd like to join in with this project. It is open to everyone. It's really kind of loosey-goosey, but I will make sure to put all of where I am so far with the kind of rules in the description box below, but feel free to modify at will. If you've enjoyed this video, I hope that you'll consider giving it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing before you leave. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I hope that you're having an amazing day, and I will see you next time. Bye.